Hi, good morning. This is day 64 of the Daily Spark Questions, Thursday, March 5th. What emotional states feel permanent but are actually conditional? What emotional states feel permanent but are actually conditional? Well, again, this feels like all of them are conditional. All of them, like yesterday's word, are transient. They're meant to move through. And then suffering happens when we try to lock into an emotional state and keep it from being transient. That's my belief, my felt experience. So, what emotions feel permanent? Well, let's get specific then. If it's all of them, what ones are that way for me? And you can think about which ones are that way for you. Well, I've been thinking about shame a lot lately, this past week, coming out of our training where we were working with it again. So I don't know if shame's an emotional state, but it certainly can bring up a lot of other emotions that feel like identity. Like, oh, that's me. Just because they're so old. The patterns go back so far that I've lived them like countless times. So it just feels like, oh, that's who I am. So the emotional state of like distrust, is that an emotional state or a feeling? I think the unease can feel permanent. It's like I know it moves through, but there's something about its repetitive nature. That's what I mean. That's what I'm going to interpret as permanent. It's like a permanent pattern, even though the state itself moves away, comes back, moves away, comes back. Because I don't really experience any emotional state as permanent, like never changing, never leaving. But the pattern feels permanent in some way with like certain, these are things I've been working with, so they change, the patterns are shifting all the time. They're becoming less patterny, they come back less frequent. But that whole like, what are your intentions kind of like discernment that brings up unease in my body, like, and you could interpret, like some people just say like, well, they're giving me bad vibes, or that's just a less, like, taking less accountability. That's like a less accountable way to talk about things. Is like, it's all them. It's their vibes, they've got a problem. No, it's my problem, so I gotta take accountability for that. And I believe energy is real. So if my system is detecting a resistance in their system, that can also produce an unease in me. But now I see it in those terms. There's nothing wrong with the person, there's nothing wrong with me. It's like we are meant to like pick up on these subtle cues from people. It's like a threat detection kind of thing that our nervous systems do. So it's natural. And it could produce patterns of emotions. Like, man, it could make it seem like some days no one's safe to be around. Like, I'm too sensitive today, I gotta go like hide. Like some days I just put myself to bed because it's like, I'm really sensitive today. I joke with my husband about that. Like he'll, like, he knows now the days I feel more sensitive. He is so understanding. Oh my God, so patient. So grateful for him. So those are some of the ones that come up for me. Yeah, it's more like it feels like if my nervous system's a little unsettled that day, for whatever reason. Maybe I got less sleep, maybe my nutrition's been off, maybe I haven't moved my body enough. where I just feel like an unease that can bring up that, like, emotions of bummer, like, oh man, just slightly meh. I'm not given a very clear, maybe good answer to this because first of all, I don't think emotional states are permanent. And I'm having a hot flash. If hot flashes were an emotion, I'd say it would be pretty permanent. Although, no, they just keep coming back around, just like any old pattern. Yeah, what about you? I think I'll be done with this one. I feel like I'm searching for something in my lived experience and my emotional patterns that feels like it's happening a lot, but usually I feel pretty grateful and pretty, like, settled, at ease. It's just those times when, like, I'm like in my gut and solar plexus, I might feel a little bzz, like the threat detection thing is working. And I'm like, what is that? Is it my sleep, my, all the things I named? Or is it the environment I'm in? Is it something subtle I'm picking up from another person? And, but usually it's like, what's going on here? What's going on within me is usually. So nowadays, I guess where I'm going with this is maybe I sense less emotional permanence because now, over these years of practice of noticing, creating a wider gap between stimulus and response, I'm able to now notice the bodily sensations more easily, more readily, before jumping to the emotional response. Thankfully, it just took a while to get here, and I'm still working on it literally every single day. So nothing feels permanent, and it feels like, oh, there's a reason for that emotion. It started in the body. What is my body picking up? What is it feeling? It's pretty logical. Leads to a lot of equanimity, treating things as like, oh, equal weight, in my experience. So that's all. What about you? Bye.